All right, family, welcome back to Real Bible Stories. Now, you've seen this remarkable story come to life. You know what happened at the tomb. But today, we're going deeper. I've got 5 guests with me who were actually there: Martha, Mary, Lazarus himself, and 2 men most people never think about, the ones Jesus asked to roll away the stone and take off the grave clothes. We're about to have a conversation straight from the people who lived it. Let's get into it. Martha, thank you for being here. We know this story. We know how it ends. But what most people never think about is what those 4 days felt like from inside your home. Watching your brother, waiting on Jesus, holding everything together. So let's go back there. Tell us what those days were really like.
My brother was dying. Not in the way you read about it later in a story, but in the slow, terrifying way that grief actually comes. Where you watch someone you love get smaller every day. Where you listen to his breathing at night just to make sure it's still there. And what does Martha do with that kind of pain? She moves. She cooks. She makes sure there is food and the house is in order and everyone else is taken care of. My sister Mary would say that's my way of carrying what I can't say out loud. And she's right. Because if my hands stayed busy, maybe my heart wouldn't completely shatter. But I want you to understand something. Underneath every pot I stirred and every arrangement I made, I was terrified. Because no amount of doing was going to stop what was happening to my brother.
And in the middle of all of that, the fear, the doing, the trying to hold it together, you sent word to Jesus. What did you expect him to do?
I never even questioned it. He was going to come. Because Jesus loved Lazarus, we all knew that. That wasn't even a question. So when the hours turned into days, I stayed close to my brother, making sure he was comfortable, talking to him, holding his hand. Sometimes I would just sit beside him and hum because I didn't know what else to do. That's the thing about loving someone who is slipping away. You can't fix it. You can only stay. And I stayed, every moment I could. Because sometimes the greatest thing you can do for someone you love is just be there. Just let them know they are not alone.
You stayed with him through all of it, and then Lazarus died.
I have no words to describe what broke inside of me that day. And people started coming from everywhere. Neighbors, friends, people who loved him. And somebody needed to make sure they were taken care of. That there was food, that there was space for people to grieve. That's just how I love. I show up by doing. But I won't pretend it wasn't hard doing all of that with a broken heart. I just kept moving. Because Lazarus would have done the same for me. He always did. And I kept praying that Jesus would get there soon, before it was too late.
When you finally heard Jesus was coming, 4 days later, you didn't wait. You ran out to meet him. Why?
Because 4 days of grief and unanswered prayers will sometimes move your feet before your mind catches up. And I had words for him. Yes, I really did. I'm sorry, but I did. I said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And I meant every syllable. But here's the thing about Jesus. He didn't flinch. He didn't get defensive. He looked me right in my eyes and said, I am the resurrection and the life. And something in me shifted. Right there on that road. Before anything even happened.
Martha, after everything you just walked us through, what do you want people to take from your part of this story?
That it's okay to bring your frustration to Jesus. He can handle your honest heart. So whatever you're carrying right now, bring it to him, all of it. The grief, the questions, the anger. He can handle it. He handled mine. I came to him with grief and I spoke my mind, and he still showed up for me.
Martha, thank you. You know what I love about you? Your honesty and your transparency. You served through the heartbreak. And even when fear had every reason to stop you, you still ran to Jesus.
Mm.
And we saw how he showed up for you. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me on here and giving me the chance to share some of my story.